What I think a lot of people don't know is that you don't enter med school for a specific specialty. When you enter, you're just getting a doctor of medicine. I have a lot of people asking me like, oh, what are you majoring in? But medical school is just medical school. It's the foundation. And then your fourth year, you decide on a specialty and you apply to residency. And residency is a program where you're taught how to do that specialty. You're working, you're getting paid, not nearly as much as like an attending or like normal doctor salary is. It's a lot of hours for not as much money as it should be, but that's a different subject. But you're still like a learner. You're taking care of patients. You're a doctor in residency, but you are not like board certified in that specialty. So you're learning from those specialists. And applying to residency is a whole different beast, because I think that a lot of people don't necessarily understand that you can't just elect to do any specialty per se. Some of the specialties are very competitive and very selective. So if someone chooses a very competitive specialty, they might also apply to like a backup specialty, or they might have to take a year off after med school and then reapply again, like maybe to do research or something, because you're not just guaranteed to get in the specialty you want. Normally the primary care specialties are easier to get into. Like I'm gonna go in pediatrics, so I'm not overly concerned that I won't get into pediatrics, but it's always a chance still. But some of the harder specialties like surgical specialties, dermatology, those are things that are very, very competitive. And that's another thing that makes med school tough is you're not just studying for your exams, you're also doing other things to make you competitive. So obviously academic performance is part of that, but volunteering, doing extracurricular activities, doing research projects. Most med students are doing some form of research at least one time during med school, and that can either be just doing research and writing an abstract, it can be presenting at conferences. A lot of people are getting published, especially if they want those really competitive specialties, because it's almost required. Like it's not written that it's required, but they're just so competitive that if you don't have that number of research behind you, it would be extremely hard to match into it. And then if anybody's interested, I can make another video explaining the match. But basically, it's not just like applying to schools or applying to jobs where you apply and you get all these acceptances and then you get to pick. You apply, you interview, and then you rank everything. And the system basically matches you up with a specific program. Like I said, I could get more into that if anybody's interested. And then residency is 3 to 7 years, depending on what you do. If you want to get even more specialized, so say if you do a pediatrics residency, but then you want to be like a pediatric cardiologist or something, you would do a fellowship after that. For every specialty, there are like fellowships you can do to keep becoming more and more specialized. Fellowships last like 1 to 3 years. So at the very least, by the time someone becomes a doctor, they've done at least 4 years of undergrad, at least 4 years of medical school, at least 3 years of residency, and then possibly some fellowship. So at the bare minimum, the path to becoming a doctor is taking like 11 years, but for many, many more people, it will take many more years than that. Or the path to becoming an attending physician in your specialty, I should say. Like I mentioned earlier, the MCAT holds a lot of people back. Also finances